Happy Monday, team. I heard we had great feedback on the video last week, so I thought I would do one more as we start into 2020 and find ways that we want to build our team culture, build the engagement, and talk about communication. So a video is a great way to give communication from my head and mouth to your ears. And it's a great way for us to engage together if I don't see you all the time. So today's focus is just that. It's engagement. You're going to see two posts from Night today that are going to set the story of what we're going to focus on this week. The first one is your standard scoreboard post. I talked about that a little bit in the information sessions that we've had, but we're doing our normal scoreboard tracking this week. So you'll see that post come out like normal, but look at it differently. When you look at this post, look at each item in the scoreboard and what we are tracking. We'll teach more about scoreboard, but right now we want to get you just looking at it differently before we drill in and talk about what those line items are. We actually have videos that Mike and Brent created for scoreboard directly after taking the open book class at Zingerman's. So we might even dip in and give you some historical videos to look at too. So look at that post, look at the items, see how you're engaging with them on a daily basis, whether you're setting your goals, or whether you're talking about them in a high five. You probably haven't been using your plates. I've noticed the front desk team hasn't been using the physical plates that we have. We're going to ask you to bring those back out. There's a scoreboard tracker on the back. So Mike will be mentioning that today in the Define the Shift as well, that one of the parts of engagement that you're going to do is engage with your shift. And one way you can engage with your shift is to use the game plan that we have, the plates. If we want to edit those, make them better, change them for how the team currently works, we're happy to do that. But in order to know what you want to use or how you want to change it, you need to utilize it and engage with it. So we're going to be rolling that back out this week. The other post you're going to see is going to be one that invites you to engage with each other. Define the Shift talks about this a little bit when we write up why we do Define the Shift, but it's to build a team that even if you aren't working together, you're still working as a team and you're aware of what the team is doing. Define the Shift is the easiest example to show what I mean by that. When it starts with the day, it builds, you talk about how your day went when you end, and so if you're the closer and you're even here for 3 hours, you get a sense of every teammate that's worked that day. What we're going to do today is ask you to engage with each other inside of an FD Dash post. So think about what your teammates are writing, revisit it throughout the week. If you look at the post from last week, the return on investment, you guys gave amazing responses, great engagement, very thoughtful. We can tell you read everything, you thought through it, and it's going to help you internalize it, and that's a win for us. The next level win, which we didn't mention, would have been to see somebody go back and engage with somebody else inside of that post. We didn't define it. We didn't set the expectation, so we're not discouraged that it didn't happen. But what we want to do is use that as an example of what a baseline post is and the engagement it is with this team. If you go back now and read them, which you still can, that post exists on the dash, you can see the other things people got from it. And what you'll see is you all had unique responses to the same posts. Engaging with your teammates allows you to see other takeaways that might be those aha moments that you weren't expecting. And even sharing that. Thank you for saying that. I hadn't thought of that, but I love to see your perspective. That team engagement is really what's going to help us define our culture or continue to cultivate the amazing culture that we already have. So this post is going to be about the scoreboard. We're going to ask you to look at the scoreboard and then share with us how you would want to change it. Is there anything in there that you think maybe doesn't make sense? I'm going to use Happy Factor as the example in this because over the years, this is the one I've probably had the most conversation with teammates on when they think, are we using it effectively, or is it really tracking it how we want to? So, for example, if I was posting, I would say the Happy Factor right now seems a little rote. We start about 10.7 and we end at 11, and it's consistent. Whether we know someone's sick, whether we know someone might be sad, it seems like we're generally in that flow. And are we really true to that? So the questions I would ask myself and the team is, does the Happy Factor make sense? Are we really tracking it? What's the purpose of tracking the Happy Factor? And then how can we utilize it better? If I was the champion of that line, how would I cheer on the team to make sure we're actually having an effective measure of the energy of our team? And that's the story of what the Happy Factor should tell. So look at each of those lines. Are they defined? Do you know what we're tracking, why we're tracking? Does it make sense that we're tracking it? And then more importantly, what do you want to see tracked? Next month, we're going to be kicking off our first scoreboard bonus opportunity, which are going to be goals set on the scoreboard that you guys are going to see the ability you have to track it. The easiest example to talk about that would be Happy Hearts, Team Happy Hearts. If we set a goal, if we did 10 Happy Hearts every day, but if we did 10 Happy Hearts every day, everybody would get an extra $100 at the end of the month. I guarantee you we would have 10 Happy Hearts a day. We're not going to do that because we don't want to force the sharing of gratitude. But that's an example of if you have a goal that's tangible and defined and people know there's a reward to it, they're more likely to hit that goal. So that's what scoreboard is. It's for a way to us to see what's the score of the game. What are the things we want to impact that have the best return on investment for the company and have a best return on investment for the team, and then how is that getting rewarded? So that's the goal. We're going to see that post. We're going to ask you to talk about it, engage in it, and then continue to re-engage throughout the week. Mike and I are going to be playing a role in this too. We're going to be reading what you say. If it has an aha moment or an idea for us, we're going to then post a new question each day or a new thought based on what you shared and ask you guys to re-engage with that. So you should see this post expand throughout the week. Again, we like it to be organic. We don't want you to force anything. We're not asking for you to just say this is awesome. We want you to really be actively involved in what it is we're setting up for our future success. So look for your normal Define the Shift scoreboard post to come out this morning, and then look for that next return on investment post that we're going to be doing on the dash specifically to the scoreboard and specifically to engagement. Last week we talked about defining engagement and the levels of it. This week we want to think about what is the net result of the return on investment if we engage with each other as a team. What are the positive that comes from team engagement? If we go back to the happy factor that I talked about, that's probably one. We're probably building better energy if we're engaging with each other as a team. We're also probably able to internalize more information because we're seeing things from different perspectives. So think about those net plus benefits to team engagement as you're engaging in these posts. Don't rotely do it. Don't do it because you think it's what we want to hear. Do it because the team that we're building and the team that we are understands the value of engaging with each other in a way that is going to better our day, better our shifts, and better our opportunities in the future. Okay? Thanks so much for listening. I'm going to try to keep these around this time, 7 minutes, a little bit shorter. We'll do them throughout the weeks as we need. And I appreciate you guys taking the opportunity to listen to me. Give great, thoughtful engagements below, and take the ability to have this week make a real difference on everybody. All right, have a great week, guys.